So you want to invest out of state, but you have control issues. This is completely understandable when you're investing tens of thousands of dollars, signing loans, purchasing property, becoming liable and responsible for tenants to have concerns over. But I want to share with you that it doesn't need to be also concerning. This is the 21st century. People do it every day, literally every day. There are investors who own hundreds of properties to thousands of properties in cities like New York and LA, and they don't own a single property in California or New York, right? So investing out of state is something that you need the right processes. You need to pick the right market, but at the end of the day, can be infinitely lucrative. And you know what? It's honestly it gives you peace of mind because you're not even able to go drive to the properties. It's kind of counterintuitive, but by not being able to physically go do it, it takes off a level of anxiety of the responsibility that you personally hold and carry. You certainly do, but when you have the right team in place, this helps alleviate those. You can trust in a property manager. You have a great contractor or handyman or multiple on hand and in your modern day Rolodex, right? Your contacts list. You have other individuals like project managers or who are able to take care of things for you, right? So the question then becomes, okay, how do you become confident in investing out of state? I've personally invested out of state multiple times. I bought some homes in Texas and I left Texas and I remotely managed them. I live in North Carolina and I bought properties and managed them in Virginia from where I am over here in Raleigh. So investing out of state, that's just myself on a smaller scale versus the initial examples I gave of hundreds to thousands of units from some more big time investors. But the reality is once you have your systems in place, that you have your market, your people, and the property types you want, there should really be nothing holding you back if you're financially capable of investing and turning a $50,000 investment that honestly couldn't be made in some more expensive markets because the properties just cost too much and wouldn't cash flow can turn into one, two, three properties out of state where it costs lower for the properties. It costs lower for the repairs. It's less expensive to carry the mortgage and the insurance and the taxes, right? So you're turning your money in the same United States of America. I mean, these places aren't third world countries. These aren't overseas. You're not working with different banks and different laws. Laws vary state to state, which is also a huge reason to invest out of state. I'm a big believer in investing in red states, which are Republican states, and not for the political affiliations at all, but because the laws in those states tend to protect investors more favorably. As a real estate investor, that's very important. That's very, very, very important. You don't want to have a tenant who can legally live in your property without paying rent and you have to carry all the costs. That's a story that I've heard countless times from investors, investing in more blue leaning states. And again, to get away from the politics, we're talking about the landlord and tenant laws, which are set up to protect you and your investment and your money. So, investing out of state is just another hurdle to jump, but it doesn't have to be difficult. Another part about buying properties in the state you don't live in is the cost. Like I said, would likely be lower, but at the same time, the rents in those markets are often strong, and you cash flow better. You're getting better returns on your investment rather than investing in your neighborhood. You invest a few states away, across the country maybe, and you're getting crazy returns on your investments. We target anywhere between 12 to 20% cash on cash returns as a good target, and oftentimes can exceed those if you're finding the right deal. Finding lenders in those areas, there may not be as many active investors, so they're much more open and willing to work with you, so they can close a deal too. And then also build a relationship, and they can be your funding partner for your entire portfolio, whether that be hard money lenders, commercial lenders, credit unions, just banks to give conventional loans, all of them. They're also able to provide you with greater service because they have less people to attend to, less investors to handle, and all of those things. It's something that I think is untapped in many people's minds. They want to be able to drive over to their investment and see it. But if your property is there, if it's being taken care of, if you're getting a check every month, the mortgage is getting paid down and your principal is going down with that. So then you own more of the property. If the property is appreciating, oftentimes in larger markets, they don't appreciate as fast as smaller growing markets. I like to invest in the secondary market. So I live in Raleigh, Durham, but I invest outside of Raleigh, Durham. Properties don't usually cash flow here, but in areas like Burlington, Mebane, which is just west of Raleigh, going on I-40 on the way to Charlotte, it's growing rapidly. There's a lot of manufacturing facilities being built, a lot of businesses moving there. And there also, as the Raleigh Durham Triangle expands and becomes more expensive, a lot of people are moving there because it's a short drive, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And they're okay commuting as long as they can live in a nice home, live more affordably. That's one market I like to invest in. Also in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is anchored by Fort Bragg. Now it's called Fort Liberty, the largest Army base in the United States, actually. And it's anchored by that, but there's also lots of businesses opening up and moving there. And they're also receiving people moving from the Raleigh Durham area to live there. So those are just two examples. But I have clients investing in Birmingham, Alabama, looking at properties in Tennessee, places like Knoxville and Chattanooga. Nashville's pretty expensive. That is a top market. It's best for fix and flips rather than cash flow. But markets like that, also in the Midwest, you have Kentucky is a great place to invest. More so like the larger cities. Larger cities of Kentucky are still affordable and cash flow. Same thing with Ohio, finding great markets there in Cincinnati, and Cleveland. These markets are all beneficial where your money can go further and your investment will get greater returns. Additionally, as the big cities are pricing people out from home ownership and cost of living, they're moving to more affordable areas. The growing markets of the United States are growing and they're very strong. Additionally, they're implementing tax benefits and business opportunities for businesses to move there, for economic development to happen. They're investing and reinvesting into their cities so that they're more people friendly, that people love to live there, have a great time, and also to boost their tourism, which then just catapults and snowballs on the entirety of the benefit to investing. So if you're curious about out of state investing, I've done it multiple times myself. I currently am doing it and helping clients do it. Go ahead and reach out to me. Visit my website. It's christiecapitalinvestments.com. You can fill out the form below in the description to set up a conversation, a call. That way I can provide you some value and I'd be happy to connect. Go ahead and subscribe to my page where I'm going to be putting out more videos on investing and buying real estate so you can build your portfolio, retire early, and find financial freedom for yourself and your family.